A guten Erev Shabbos. A friend of mine, Meir, was once flying from New York to Pittsburgh. On the plane was Rabbi Vyshetsky. Meir asked Rabbi Vyshetsky, "Why are you traveling to Pittsburgh?" Rabbi Vyshetsky responded, "I'm going to see the Lubavitcher Rebbe." "You're going to see the Lubavitcher Rebbe? You're coming from Brooklyn, from where the Lubavitcher Rebbe lives." Rabbi Vyshetsky explained as follows. He says, "I lived through the Second World War. When a piece of artillery fires a shell, it's a very, very loud sound. But that pales in comparison to the sound of the explosion at the place of impact." He says there's one thing in Crown Heights is where the Rebbe's message, his inspiration emanates. But Pittsburgh is where you see where the Rebbe's message landed, where the Rebbe built institutions, schools, shuls, and Chabad houses. This week's Parsha, Parshas Chukas, discusses the process of the Parah Adumah, the red heifer, where we create this mixture of water and ashes with which we purify an individual who's tamei, who is impure. The great Rabbi Yeshua once said, "I once thought that one person can be involved in purifying one person who's tamei and impure. But I learned from the story of the city of Yavna that one person can actually bring purity to many people." What was this which Rabbi Yeshua thought, and what did he learn from the story of Yavna? Well, what he thought was as follows. Just like if two people are wrestling, one person can maybe overcome another person. Maybe one person can overcome two people. But he can't overcome and win a wrestling match with many people. Similarly, in the war of purity against impurity, purity can overcome a certain amount of impurity, but not too much impurity. But then he learned from the story of Yavna. Yavna was a place where after the destruction of the Second Temple, a few rabbis rebuilt Judaism. And till this very day, our practice of Judaism is informed by decisions that they made then. So he learned from the story of Yavna that a few people who are involved in spreading light have the ability and the capacity to overcome a tremendous amount of darkness. This is one of the lessons that the Rebbe taught us by example. Post-Second World War, the Rebbe literally transformed Judaism worldwide by sending his shluchim and inspiring a generation of people to bring a little bit of light which dispels a lot of darkness. By each and every one of us recognizing that. And sometimes we look around and we see the masses, the anti-Semitism, the numbers of people who seem to be projecting darkness. We have the ability, each person has the ability to introduce light and holiness into the world, thereby overcoming the darkness and bringing about the coming of Mashiach. Have a wonderful Shabbos.